Okay, so I walked in, I've got flooding, and I actually had a heater in the ground, plus I put the red light in. I checked it every couple of hours yesterday, and things were fine, but clearly this canister on the far right here has busted out. So this has to get fixed. So I'm going to kind of explain what we have going on. So the well comes out of here, and you've got your lines that are going to go across here. This one leads to the house. So now you follow your piping, and it goes across. Now you see this blue line hooks to your filters. This is your pressure tank. So if I know it's blue, you might not be able to tell with the red heat lamp on, but it's blue. So it's something that you need to know. And you've got different valves. So the valve down here, this red valve, again, you might not be able to tell the colors. This is like the overall shut off. Now, typically you don't want to shut that off unless like there's a super big emergency. Other than that, you're going to go up and you have other valves. I've got one here, and one here. Now, you really don't want to cut off to this tank here. This is basically like on a timer, and unless it's really necessary, without if it doesn't have anything in it, it could implode upon itself. And that to me is the scariest part. However, we really got to get this fixed. So what happened yesterday, as you had seen previously, is this far one was completely busted out due to the cold. Now, we went in, and not only was that canister replaced because it was broken, I still have it. Oh yeah, here it is down here. It's broken. Like, it's a total mess in here right now. I'm gonna obviously have some cleanup to do. But then we got those two off, and we were able to just put clean filters on. Now, luckily, when I went to town, I was able to go to the Ace Hardware, and I actually bought two of these. Let me see if I can show you. Now, up there is Brita, but I got the Culligan Standard 360B. And it's nice and comfortable out here. I mean, I got snow pants and everything on, but this is set to a timer, so it will release every so often. Now, yesterday this was a gunky mess. So what happens, and it looks like water is not actually going into this one, so I'm going to have to look at it a little more, but it's going to go through each one. So as the water comes down, it will get sucked back up through the filter, and then it will circle to the next one and the next one. So each one will kind of do its own thing. However, I've got water again in the house, but I can see that this one, I wonder if, oh, see it filling up? That didn't get turned on, and I think that's why there was so much pressure on this one. I bet you that's what happened, because this one did not have any pressure coming to it. And I think this is a pretty, I mean, that's what the old filters look like. I know it's really hard to tell in here. I mean, it's like, it's kind of muddy now. The water was so rocky and silty and basically just mud. That's, you know, it's coming out of the ground, and then it has to go through all the filtration. Now, I can tell you that in this one, it looks pretty darn clear. So that's got me, I don't know if this is a crack, and I think it let's see here if I can get up here a little closer. I feel like it's coming from up top here. Yep. So see, this one is dry up top, but this one is not. This has got water all around it, so it is absolutely leaking everywhere. So what happens is you have these little tools, and you're gonna put them on, and that's how you can tighten and loosen. And then you're gonna need a 3/4 inch what do you call that thing? Plumber's wrench. Now, if you can't find one of these, if these crack out and you can't find one, then you're gonna need to get a 3/4 inch cap. Pretty much any little hardware store would have something like this. And I went ahead and got 4, just in case there was any type of issue, just like I got 2 of the filters. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to shut the water down to this. So it'll be this one here. I'm gonna have to go inside and get the wrench. And then this will have to come completely undone, and I'll have to reinstall just like this one. And otherwise I have to put on these, which I don't want to have to do if I don't have to do, obviously. So, also, if you've got your tape that you can wrap around your valves. So, inside each one of these is a valve that comes out very similar to this that will connect in. And then one piece will go into this side and one will go into here. So for me, those filled up with like a solid thing of ice. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to hold the camera and do this at the same time because there is so much water and I don't want to ruin my equipment. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably try to, maybe I'll even take my thing back in the house. I don't know. I don't want it to get wet, and it might spray a little bit. It did when we did it yesterday. So I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna shut this valve off here. I'm gonna take the plumber's wrench. I'm gonna undo this side. I'm gonna undo that back side. And then this whole unit's gonna come off. I'm gonna put on a new one that will look exactly like this. And then we're just gonna tighten it back up. And this should stop the leak, because right now I've got a really, really bad mess in here. And I should not be experiencing that. And it's comfy in here, but this could definitely lead to, it's going to lead to an electrical problem next. So I need to get going on this, and I will show you when all said and done. Okay, so it's a couple days later. It took me a long time. I had to make multiple trips. So we literally, I just took this extra one, if you remember, that was over here. And I got, sorry, I'm out of breath. I've been shoveling snow. So that blue piping or tubing, whatever, it is 3/4 inch. You can get that at pretty much any hardware store, I believe. And so what I had to do was, I had to get a new little 90-degree notch here and a couple of these. I just connected, and I did have to unscrew, excuse me, I did have to unscrew this piece up here in order to get the tubing through there. But for now, it's gonna work. The other filter that was up there was definitely, well, it was not having a good time. So anyway, what I did is, this is a brand new filter. This is a filter system. This is a filter system. I have my replacement up there. I've been purchasing parts and putting them in there. So this spring, when it warms up, I'll go ahead and fix that. But for now, it's gonna be just fine. I have tons of filters. Plus there's one under the sink in the house. So my point to all of this is, when you have a really bad cold front and it comes in and it takes out your piping, first of all, if you can, get your replacement parts ahead of time so you just have them on hand. Now, I got everything I could as of right now because pretty much the whole town lost their pipes, all froze. Now, my pipes in the house did great. If you have not seen my video on the freezing pipes, I really strongly suggest that you watch it because it does make a difference. But as far as out here goes, this is where the problem was, and that was only due to the fact that the heater that was out here was on, but there was no heat setting. I also have a red light now, just like you'd put in your chicken coop, and that is definitely it's a game changer. It keeps the pipes and the tubing flowing as they need to be. So just feel free to get this stuff ahead of time. Don't be discouraged if you have never done this before. I am a female. I was able to do it. You just need to get a few supplies ahead of time. You will need a pipe wrench, some tubing, some fasteners. You're just gonna need a few items, but you can do it if you are determined enough, and that way you're not having to spend so much money with a plumber. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope this does not happen to you, but if it does, I hope this gives you a little bit of encouragement. All right, take it easy. Bye.